Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Talking Mons. It is our Digimon Ghost Game Recap podcast. My name is JD, and I'm joined, as always, by Jeanette and Gary.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
I need to, put in, an applause or something after that sometime. But yeah, anyway, we are here to talk about episodes 9 and 10 of Digimon Ghost Game, Warp Time, and Game of Death. Man, one of these is kind of actually terrifying. One of this is actually really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, really interesting pair of episodes we got here today. So we'll go ahead and start with episode 9, Warp Time. Now, this is this one kind of messed with me a little bit because of its premise. So basically, it centers around Hiro, and he is just having all kinds of trouble with time. He's always thinking oh, I'm not late for this. It turns out he's 5 hours late. And just constantly, time is just constantly changing for him. And he's not sure. He thinks he's going crazy. So much that he's telling Ruli, I don't know what's going on. And he starts having vertigo at one point where the world just goes fuzzy and spinning just because the time dilation that's happening to him is messing with him so bad. Turns out, hey everybody, remember Clockmon from the first episode? He's back for revenge.
Yep.
So our theory about previous Digimon who got away coming back to cause more havoc turned out to be true. So yeah, Clockmon is back. He found out if he messes with the time of someone, it can cause their sense of time and space to really mess up. So he's basically just fucking with Hiro as a form of revenge and basically come to steal his time away like he did last time.
But slowly and more, whatchamacallit, more psychological attacks.
Yeah, dude, Clockmon is legit psychologically fucking with Hiro the entire episode. It's kind of messed up.
Yeah, and he just does it because he thinks it's funny.
More or less, yeah. He's just doing it because he thinks it's funny, and that's the way he's gonna get his revenge on him for beating him the first time. But yeah, so that's the gist of it. What did you guys think about this one?
I really like this episode. I thought there was some neat neat angles with the camera and the animation in here. And gosh, that ending was just so intense where he's slowly dying from. Well, we can all get on that, but yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really liked how it's not a rehash of the stealing time and turning him old thing. It's a creative way to use time as a horror element.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you guys seen anything like that in other movies or story? Not even time travel shows has this kind of thing.
No.
Yeah, no, that is a very interesting, like you say, Gary, it's a very interesting way to use time as a scare tactic, and just watching Hiro break down because he's just has no idea why he's having such a bad time keeping track of time. And he's watching he'll look at the clock, look away for 2 seconds, looks back, and it's 3 hours later.
Went to bed and then wake up even on time. He only gets an hour of sleep.
Well, what really kind of freaked me out the first time is when he's first starting to notice that the time is shifting, is that he's only looking at the clock. Gamamon is sitting on the bed wide awake. He looks away for 2 seconds, looks back at the clock. It's 1 a.m. now, and Gamamon is fast asleep. So it's oh shit, yeah, he is really time jumping all over the place. So obviously something's going on here. But to Jeanette's point that you kind of brought up earlier, yeah, the whole ending where they reflect the time power back at Clockmon and it sets his clock just spiraling forward, just sucking his time out, and just slowly watching him die and scream for agony, that's legitimately kind of fucked up.
Oh, it was horrifying.
It's not just aging too. Since he's a clock, you can see decay in the metal and everything.
Yeah, he's rusting. Pieces are falling off of him. It's pretty messed up. I'm not exactly sure why they thought shooting fireballs at his chest was going to reverse the clock, but it did somehow, and we're just not going to question it.
Listen, it's better than watching him die a horrible death.
That's true.
Go ahead, Jeanette.
I like they refer to it as CPR for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is a nice bit of thing to add on to what would have usually been whatchamacallit? What's the term? Where it's just a lot of lore dumped in?
Exposition?
Yeah, exhibition. Oh my god, I can't say it. Yeah, because without Clockmon, this is just going to be an entire episode about visiting a library, learning about Digimon powers.
God. I forgot about the entire info dump that happens when they go to the library and meet. So if everyone watched Frontier, you're familiar with Bokomon, that weird little penguin elf thing. He's a professor walking around in a coat now, and he knows all about the digital world. So he just info dumps on Hero for a while. He's got a little Tapermon friend.
Yeah, Tapermon was so cute. I didn't really pay attention to the info dump.
Yeah, I'd have to rewatch exactly what it was, but it was just a lot of like how it was mostly explaining how the hologram ghost effect works, like saying the Digimon can make themselves invisible. It was a lot of like, if we use one power, we lose another power. Like, it's like if we become visible, we can't walk through walls, but if we're invisible, we can walk through walls. But we can't become solid unless we have like a really strong emotional reaction to something. It was a lot of weird rules, and they were kind of confusing. But it was trying to like explain to you, okay, why can some people see the ghost, others can't, but why can some of the Digimon touch real world objects and others can't? It's very convoluted, but whatever.
But interestingly, these two Digimon can do a transition between all of these stages at will.
Yeah, so apparently it is a learned skill. It's not just something you can do. Because what was nice at the end of this episode, they saved Clockmon from dying a horrible time death. And Clockmon's gonna be like, okay, well, I'm gonna go off and train and do whatever. But Bokomon's like, bruh, nah, get back here. I'm gonna actually teach you how to like not be a shit. So he's like, first thing I'm gonna teach you is how to turn invisible. And he's like, all right, cool. So I guess Clockmon's just gonna hang out with the professor.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a nice ending.
I was actually hoping he would appear when the professor appears again, but at least not yet. It hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I imagine because Bokomon is such a knowledge of the what goes on with the digital world and like how it all works. I'm sure he's gonna be popping up a lot.
Well, he pops up in the next episode, so
he sure does.
Yeah. I do want to say, like, before I started this series, I was pretty much indifferent to Clockmon, but this series kind of won me over to liking him.
I thought he was a very interesting villain. Like, I just thought the concept of him having time-stealing powers, I thought that was interesting, and the way that, like, if you've seen Clockmon's design before, like, yeah, he's, like, Digimon ugly, but he's not scary. They turned him scary.
Yes.
Giving him like the black eyes and really emphasizing his sewn mouth. He's legitimately scary, especially in that first episode. But yeah, now that he's kind of a friend, now that they rescued him, and he's like, okay, I guess I don't exactly hate you guys now. So I'm sure he's gonna turn into an ally later down the road, like a begrudging ally.
Yes, kind of like the whole make friends with the villain, like shonen archetype.
Yeah, exactly.
From first baddie to friend. I always love that archetype.
So
he's gonna be the Vegeta of this show.
Yes.
So is up with Gamamon's like spooky shadow that deflected Clockmon's attack back to him?
Okay, so if you don't want to be spoiled, it's not really a spoiler, but just forward about a minute ahead of time. Gamamon technically has 4 evolutions that I've seen. So he has the 3 that you see in the intro, and he has like a black evolution that kind of looks like his red one, but like more evil and stuff. So I think he's just got like some dark in him, and we'll probably see that Gamamon at some point. We gotta see the traditional Triceratops first.
Yeah, it's kind of like the evil like Greymon.
Yeah, it's like how Agumon dark evolved into Skull Greymon, or how Guilmon dark evolved into Megidramon. It's, dark evolution is nothing new, so I guess Gamomon's just gonna have a round with it. Anything else you guys want to say before we move on?
Nope.
I do want to add, I like how everyone just abandons Hiro to go eat these sweets or eat these parfaits, and they are the best looking parfaits.
Yeah.
It's like he's having this info dump with the professor, and then Hiro looks around and is like, okay, guys, we can go. And he's like, oh yeah, they left a while ago.
They pieced out.
Just left him. This guy who is clearly having some mental problems and having problem keeping a track of time, you left him alone.
I love how it reuse explanation of let's go to this calming library place. Maybe it'll help you relax, but she actually just wanted the food there.
Yes.
Can we just assume? We can just say that Ruli and Jellymon are just huge shits.
Yes.
But Hiro did a really clever thing with the whole switching the world thing when he got attacked by Clockmon.
Yeah, he was really quick to throw that out. Mm-hmm. He's good on him.
Jeremy Snow here, owner and editor-in-chief of The Geekly Grind. I'm interrupting your awesome, regularly scheduled programming to ensure that you know about our Geekly Grind podcast network, of which this show is a treasured member of. If you haven't had a chance to check out our site, you can do so at www.thegeeklygrind.com, and while you're there, check out the other members of our steadily growing podcast family, including the anime-centric Blake and Spencer Get Jumped, discovering new heroes and comic book keepers with Chris and Lance, exploring the vast universe of geekdom with Geeksploration, or of course appreciating animation's finer details with the Ink and Paint Club. Escape your weekly grind at The Geekly Grind.
Alright, well, I think that'll bring us into episode 10, Game of Death.
Which isn't as spooky as the title implied.
It's not spooky at all. It's Digimon plays Street Fighter.
Oh my gosh, yes it is. And if you're horny for Street Fighter, then bad things happen.
So, in this episode, basically there's a popular online fighting game that you have to play with a VR helmet for some reason.
Yeah, who plays a fighting game in VR?
It's the future. I'm sure there's a reason. But basically what is the big urban myth this time around is that if you win 20 rounds in a row in this game, a secret female fighter will come out and challenge you, and she's basically unkillable, so she basically takes your soul and drags it into the game. But what I find absolutely hilarious is that what she's doing is she does it for the fighting. She actually has a giant brother whose life passion is making sake, and he takes everyone's souls and puts them into a giant fermentation bottle, and is basically if they don't win back everyone's soul in time, they're going to be turned into alcohol.
Yes.
So a little what I did find kind of funny watching this is I'm sure I've said before on the show that Gary and I are both collecting the Digimon cards from the new Digimon card game. And I bought a bunch of packs the other day, and I was seeing what my new pulls were, and I literally got Kinkakumon and Ginkakumon out of the pack. I had no idea who they were. Like, I'd never heard of them before. And then like an hour later, I go and watch this episode, and I'm like, that's uncanny. What are the odds of that? But no, I like Kinkakumon and Ginkakumon. I like that Ginkakumon, the big brother, is like a legitimate giant, and I like when he pulls out a fucking arcade board to control his sister in the fighting game.
Yes. And then he slaps on more buttons.
He's like, you know what? I've got faster reaction time to you. Just literally stretches his board out so he's got like 20 buttons now instead of 6.
I don't think that's how it works.
I don't know how that works. More buttons doesn't mean more commands. But so all these kids keep going missing because they keep getting taken by Kinkakumon, because she basically basically they are her prize for winning against them. So our heroes are trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to stop them from stealing things? Turns out Kiyoshiro is like a prodigy at this game. but he stopped playing when he heard the rumors of having his soul sucked out.
Because he was scared.
But yeah, he ends up getting into it for the sake of getting everybody back. And big revelation, hey, Jellymon evolves this episode.
It's great.
We get Tesla Jellymon, who, I'm just going to say it right now, if you didn't want to fuck the jellyfish already, I'm sure there's plenty of people who are going to want to now.
Yeah.
It's just Jellymon, but she's human-sized and wears boots and has a big hat.
Well, she's not
weird.
at Rosemon level yet.
She's not. She's in the like cute waifu. She's not the busty, sexy waifu territory yet.
I will say this season has a lot of waifu Digimon.
I'm not saying for me personally. I'm just saying for the internet at large.
Yes, I agree.
I think this episode is really great, not just because of like the Street Fighter parody and like how they bring the ghost into that. I just think it's a good showpiece for Kiyoshiro and Jellymon's relationship. I got a good laugh because after Kiyoshiro gets knocked out, Jellymon keeps kind of wake him up, and one of the things she says is like, I'll tell everyone the secret of why you have your hand bandaged."
Yeah.
What's the secret? I want to know.
And then she threatens to pack up his stuff and put it on the curb.
I'm gonna throw all your stuff out of you. Like she's she's a shitty girlfriend.
She is, and that's part of the joy. In real life, it would be horrifying. In the anime context, it's great.
It's hilarious because she just gives him. She's just his overbearing, shitty girlfriend.
Yeah, and I just love how badass it is. Like when Kiyoshiro, I just butchered his name, wakes up and like he goes into the evolution sequence.
Yeah, he just wakes up immediately and then like just goes into badass poses and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Gary, you're saying? Sorry, go ahead.
This episode just felt so good. It hit all the right notes and it felt really good.
I love how at the very end, they told Ginkakumon that you can buy booze now. You don't have to brew your own.
Okay,
and then
that really made me laugh when he had that revelation. It's like, really? It's like I don't have to make my own alcohol. I can just buy it. What really killed me is like, Hero's like, if you stop turning people into alcohol, I'll give you my dad's stash. Mm-hmm. Oh man, now this episode is just really fun.
Oh, it's great. Like I don't know how to put it. Like it just hits. As I said, it hits all the right notes. It's like the best of both worlds. And when it comes to the Digimon episodes, it's got the goofiness and it's got the actual emotional weight and. Chef's kiss. Yeah,
I think it's definitely a good counterbalance from last week's episode, which really laid more on the psychological and the horror aspect. Mm-hmm. This one is just more like fun action with a slight ghost twist on it, but nothing overtly scary.
Yeah.
Unless you consider having your face drugged through the computer screen by a beefy dinosaur lady.
Who then tries to juice you into booze.
Yeah.
But that's still pretty tame by this show's standards.
Yeah.
I just like that his hero's friend plays it because he wants to see the busty lady at the end.
Yes.
It's literally his only reason.
Okay, this is the second time something spooky has happened to him. Well,
I like his idiot. I don't remember his name, but I love his idiot friend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like he was hospitalized in the first episode and then now this. He's gonna catch on.
No, I hope he's always oblivious but stupid, but all the shit just keeps happening to him.
Yes.
And everyone, and like at some point they just have to realize, like, wait, we had to go check on Hero's friend, make sure he's okay, because it's just happened too many times at this point. Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
I'm gonna laugh. Go ahead.
He just loves the ladies.
He loves the ladies.
And causing trouble.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna laugh if he somehow become the secret fourth member later down.
That would be hilarious.
That would be amazing.
I mean, Tamer started out with 3 main characters too, so.
Yeah, and what'd they get? Up to like 7 at the end?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he'll be the Kari of this season. He's the Ken of this season.
Yes.
Digimon's. In fact, now that I think about it, I think Digimon always adds like an extra person or two somewhere in the midpoint of the season.
I think you're right.
Yeah, because there's Kari, there's Ken, and then everyone in Tamers, and then fucking Lobomon guy's brother in Frontier. I didn't watch Data Squad, so that's about all I got.
Yeah. I think it's it's kind of like an ensemble tradition in anime that you always add another member. At least it's pretty big in the like precure shows that you start off with a couple and then you add more, and like
it's the sixth Ranger, man.
Yeah.
I know Power Ranger things. Yeah. So yeah, I honestly, this is probably one of my favorite episodes so far. It's just so goofy, and I just love the fucking like haunted Street Fighter. Makes me laugh.
I'm to be honest, I'm probably gonna rewatch it tomorrow.
Yeah, I might rewatch this one before next week, just for laughs. Anything else you guys want to say about this before we go?
I'm good.
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Well, hey guys, thank you all for listening. Appreciate it. I'm not sure if we'll have another episode before Christmas, but we'll see. I don't know what the future holds.
Miracles happen.
I'm not Clockmon. I don't have time powers. Topical. Yep. Anyway, thank you everybody for listening. Stay safe out there. If we don't see you before Christmas, have a good holiday, and we'll catch you later.
Bye. Stay safe.